I'm Frozen Wish Studios, and ever since I turned 16, I've been doing my own thing, making my own moves, 24/7, 365. And yes, guys, that's right. I started doing those things when I was a 16. When I became a teenager, when I was a 13, yeah, I still wasn't fully treated like a child. But then I mean like a teen. But then again, I understand why based on where I lived at that time before I moved. And yeah. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And with the release of Elio, the new film directed by Domi Shi as one of the directors for that film, I am here today to review Domi Shi's previous film, Turning Red. So, Turning Red is an original Pixar film. It is the third Pixar film that went straight to Disney Plus, and the first of the two Pixar movies that came out in 2022, with the other one being Lightyear. And just like what I said, it is directed by Domi Shi, and it stars Rosalie Chiang, Sandra Oh, Ava Morse, Heian Parka, Marjorie Ramakirshanan, Orion Lee, Wai Ching Ho, Tristan Alec Chen, James Hong, Lori Tan Chin, and yeah, it's kind of exhausting to try and pronounce these names. And it tells a story of a teenager or preteen or whatever, I guess teenager, called named May, who is experiencing the awkwardness of being a teenager. And she basically hits puberty. So, but what happens when she hits puberty? She becomes a giant red panda when she shows heavy emotions. But when she turns into a red panda for the very first time, she flips out and freaks out and has a lot of panic. So throughout the course of the film, she must learn how to control her panda self. And also, but she has like a lot of dreams. While while her family wants her to pretty much do all the family traditional stuff, including do the ritual to get the panda off of May. Her dream is to become is to May's dream is to see the concert of her favorite band, Four Town, with her best friends, Miriam, Priya, and Abby. But then her parents disapprove of May joining the no, it's not join, but watching the Four Town concert. So May and his friends all work together to be able to see the concert. While May must also learn how to control her panda self. But even though her panda is causing her fame, so now May must learn to become a responsible teen and decide for herself if she wants to follow her parents or follow her dreams. So yeah, guys. Now I'm actually surprised that a Pixar movie that I haven't reviewed yet is Turning Red. Yeah, I think I've reviewed a vast majority of the Pixar films, specifically the modern Pixar films. I remember reviewing did I review Onward? Yeah, I actually, yeah, Turning Red is one of the two Pixar movies of this decade that I have yet to review. With Onward being the other one. I'm pretty sure I reviewed Soul. Yeah, I think I reviewed Soul. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? But I did not double check on that one. I'm sure I reviewed Luca. I did review Lightyear, which was I think the I one of the first Pixar reviews I ever did. I reviewed Elemental, and I also reviewed Inside Out 2 as well. And yeah, so we got a new Pixar movie coming out called Elio, and yeah, I'm seeing Elio tomorrow, and I am pretty excited for Elio. Now, I honestly don't think Elio will blow me away. Like it's gonna be another Pixar masterpiece. But then again, I said it about Elemental, and now Elemental is one of my absolute favorite Pixar movies. But I think I genuinely mean it with Elio, where I actually think that it's gonna end up being the movie that I went in expecting Elemental to be. So yeah. Now, considering how Domishi is one of the directors of Elio, I think now that was a it's a perfect time for me to talk about Turning Red. I've actually been wanting to review this movie for such a while now, but I actually did not get a chance to review Turning Red. So, yep, now it's a chance. So, yeah, I would say just like some of the previous Pixar original movies, Turning Red was a movie that I was excited for it being a Pixar movie, but deep down I wasn't really too excited for it. That was what I felt with Elemental, and in a way Luca. But I admit that I actually had high expectations for Luca, and y'all probably know that Luca is my least favorite Pixar original movie of the 2000 the 2020s decade. Yeah. So yeah, now Turning Red was a movie that I had high and low expectations at the same time. I mean, I always like believe in Pixar because Pixar is always capable of surprising audiences no matter how bad their marketing is. But yeah, I was not a fan of this movie's trailers. I guess the teaser trailer grew on me, but then the official trailer, yeah, I was like, what? Like the moment like we see like Miriam rapping like poo cha cha poo cha cha, yeah, I was like, that honestly made me cringe when I saw the trailer up to the point where I just wanted to stop watching the trailer. I was like, yeah, this movie's not gonna be good. Even like I even thought that this was gonna be a bottom tier Pixar movie, but then when the reviews started coming out and people were saying it's fantastic, yeah, I my expectations did go back up again. So and yeah, when I saw the movie itself, the first time I was honestly blown away. I even overpraised this, calling it the best Pixar movie ever. But now, I mean, it's far from the best Pixar movie, uh, for sure. But eventually, later on in 2022, when I rewatched it, like towards the end of the year, that year, I did come to the realization that yeah, this movie this movie is not the masterpiece that I remember it being. But I did remember also overpraising Lightyear too. Yeah, I would say I did overhype Lightyear as well by just because I wanted to call it the better Pixar movie of 2022 than Turning Red. Heck, Lightyear was my most anticipated animated film of the year, and 2022 was like probably that year where I was like very dishonest with my opinions. I would always tend to judge movies based on my expectations. There was like there was like hardly a time where a movie ended up being different. But I've been like but over the but recently over recently I've been changing my opinions on a lot of the 2022 movies. So yeah, my honest thoughts on Lightyear now. I think Lightyear is just decent. I still think Lightyear is overhated. It's not that bad, but yeah, I think Turning Red is the better Pixar movie of 2022 than Lightyear. And I think that this is probably my favorite studio animated film of 2022, and among my top three favorite animated films of the year. My two favorite animated films of 2022 are Netflix movies, with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio being my favorite Pixar movie of sorry, my favorite animated film of 2022, while Intergalactic, which by the way, please watch that uh, film, is my second favorite. I'd rank Turning Red a third. And yes, I cannot deny that that DreamWorks did take a slight edge over Disney in 2022. I actually do think that this movie is better than Puss in Boots Last Wish. So there, I said it. So DreamWorks did not entirely beat the Pixar. It's just that the DreamWorks was just a little more consistent than Pixar, because Pixar released Lightyear, which I don't really love anymore. Now before I get into details, yeah, I already said my thoughts on it. I just wanted to address the elephant in the room, the hate that this movie had. Yeah, this movie has a lot of hate, and yeah, it's actually a very divisive movie. It's one of Pixar's most divisive movies in general. While critics absolutely adore the film with a 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the audiences are not big on this movie. Up to the point where they would even go as far as calling it one of the worst Pixar movies ever. Heck, there was even I even saw some people call this straight up the worst Pixar movie ever. And I certainly don't agree with it at all. Even if I'm not a passionate lover for Terry Red, I do think yeah, Harry Thomas is does overpraise this movie. Honestly, like it's nowhere near the best Pixar movie. Oh, by the way, yes, I'm not. I'm this will probably be the last time I'll bring up Harry Thomas in my reviews unless necessary. Yeah. And yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean by that, but yeah. So the things that people criticize that Turning Red for is pretty much men not being the target audience, as you know the movie was is speaking to teenage women, which annoys men as so this gives men the opportunity to call this movie woke, which is stupid. So yeah, now I will say that out of all the now yeah anyways yeah we're getting into my personal thoughts now. Out of all the the movies that use this new art style, like the Pixar art style that pretty much takes inspiration from Studio Ghibli films, but with 3D. You know, when specifically with Luca, this, and then the incoming Elio, I think as a movie, this one does it the best. I think Elio does look like it could potentially have the best use of the animation style based on what the trailer shows, but just quality wise, honestly, I highly doubt that Elio will top this one because yeah, this movie is just really good. It's just really good. And yeah, and although this movie was treated like a Pixar side project with Lightyear being the main one, this is easily the better Pixar movie of 2022. I wish I was actually more honest in admitting that I prefer the Lightyear over this. And yeah, deep down, I actually deep down I was like, is Turning Red better than Lightyear? But for a long time, but now I admit it. Yeah, it took me a while. I guess it's because Lightyear was just more hype and it was more IP. But I guess sometimes you gotta admit that, that original films can be better than you know the big ones. And and considering that Lightyear is the bigger Pixar movie of 2022, that goes to show that bigger does not mean better. Now, Pixar delivers one of their best themes yet, as the movie discusses themes of periods, puberty, and what it means to grow up. A lot, I think people who criticize this movie for its target demographic are missing the bigger picture, as every teen, regardless of gender, goes through puberty because it is a part of growth. We all go through puberty. And heck, I even went through puberty myself. Like, I actually kind of went through puberty when I was 10 years old, or 11, I think. Yeah, around the time. But yeah, guys, fun fact. I know this may sound weird, but I actually started getting pimples when I was 10 years old. Yes, I am not joking. But I don't really relate to May like fully because I actually did not freak out about having puberty, unlike me. So, but I know a lot of people would relate to May. And the movie also tackles a themes that everybody can feel like they're the target demographic of, like the themes of family and as well as the decisions an individual can make in his or her life, and also the decision, specifically the decision where you know you grapple between whether you want to you want to follow your family's footsteps or follow your own dreams. And people argue that this film encourages disobedience against family in favor of dreams, but that is clearly not the point. As what this movie is saying is that parents should allow the child to make his or her own decisions as he or she grows up, but the child should also obey his or her parents too. it's actually one of Pixar's deepest and best messages yet, if you think about it. Yeah, the story may have its familiarities. Specifically, it's basically a kids movie version of Hulk, where the main character turns into a giant creature when when that main character gets emotional. But the originality that's put in the film is can be still felt. May is one of my favorite Pixar protagonists. Sure, she may be an asshole, but it's understandable because most teens go through this in their lives. Having parent issues is a part of growing up. Most teenagers would also have problems with their parents, as and then you also got the overprotective parents, where the mother just wants to do everything to protect the child. But some parents go as far as not allowing the child to make his own decisions. Parents are meant to raise their child, to make their own decisions in life, not just be copy them. My teacher said that it actually counts as a sin if parents force their kids to do what they do instead of just letting them go as they grow older. Rosalie Chiang gives one of the best voice performances in a Pixar movie, and I think that um, Rosalie Chiang actually made me want to watch more projects with her, and that's why I wanted to see American Boy Chinese. Well, one of the reasons. And yes, guys, I probably should review American Born Chinese in the future. As I think American Born Chinese is such an underrated show. It's a show that people don't talk about, but I think American Born Chinese should get talked about because it's just really good. Really good. Having, sorry, my bad. And yes, I will say that I do think Rosalie Chan gave a slightly better performance in American Born Chinese. That is, yeah, I think American Born Chinese is Rosalie Chang's best performance to me. And by the way, can Rosalie Chang get more live action roles, please? May's friends are the best supporting characters in the film, as you can feel them being the closest people to May, even their own family. And I think out of all of them, I think my favorite would have to be Grace. As I think Grace is just the most likable. Heck, dare I say, Grace is actually the most likable character in the film to me. Oh yeah, sorry, Miriam. Yeah, sorry. Why did I call her Grace? Her name is Miriam. Yeah, and I think Miriam also has this energy to her. As comparing Miriam to both Priya and Abby. Yeah, sorry, I Miriam, Priya, and Abby. Yeah, that's her name. Sorry that I fumbled their names. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, where was yeah, Miriam? There are times when I consider Miriam as my favorite character because of how she's the most likable. But yeah, May is overall my favorite character in the film, with Miriam being a close second. Yeah, I think Priya is probably my least favorite of the three, but she's still pretty good. She's still a good character. The friendship breakup scene towards the end of the movie, like somewhere in the third act, was much more realistic than other friendship breakup plot lines in animated films because of how it didn't feel forced, and it shows that friends aren't always going to be perfect together. And the timing was natural because May did something wrong. May was just angry. She didn't control herself. But then May pretty much threw her friends under the bus when her mother confronted her friends, and they all said it was May's idea, so it makes sense. But they didn't. I like how they didn't really fight. They just ignored each other and separated. And they weren't really like extremely pissed off at each other. Yeah, so I think that's one of the best depictions of friendship breakups. Nobody Like You is one of Pixar's best songs. It's very catchy and very easy to get stuck in your head, like in mine. Like, I never met nobody like you. The friends are high of bodies, it's true, but they don't turn my body. Yeah, that's just very great. And I also love the like. And also the idea of having Nobody Like You mixed with Zhang Yi Shang Shang, the original song. How does it fit so well? It's actually kind of surprising. The animation may be on the more cartoony side, but it's very well executed. I mean, it has one of the best Ghibli inspired animation styles that Pixar has done, which has noticeably been a Pixar trend lately. Although, yes, like what I said, Elio could top this one when it comes to the use of the animation. It looks just less cartoony than both Luca and Turning Red, but yeah. They also use vibrant colors very well, making it one of the most colorful animated films in recent years. The Red Panda is the best animated panda ever. Yes, even better than Poe. Sure, yes, Poe is a badass, and I can acknowledge that Poe is an iconic character, but you can, but the Red Panda is just beyond adorable. Like, seriously. And the ending's emotional, and tugs on your heartstrings. I did tear up in the end. Well, not on the recent rewatch, but when I saw it the first time, yes, I did tear up in the end. The climax with the Ming Panda unleashed, it was very intense and probably my favorite scene in the film. Well, maybe. Ming is a decent mother, and the depiction of an overprotective mother makes sense, as there are those types of mothers in real life. At first I didn't like Ming that much, but now she's grown on me. Now the movie is not without its flaws. I don't think it's a Pixar masterpiece, and yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah, and so yeah, let's talk about some flaws. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Tyler. He's just a generic, boring character with little to no personality, other just than just being manipulative and kind of being a bully. But deep down, he tries to make a deal with his friends to just not be a bully anymore. He kind of feels like an unnecessary character. Plus, the plot twist of him being a Four Town fan just felt so forced that was only there just an excuse for him to join the May's friends group and for them to just immediately forgive Tyler. That was honestly so stupid. But my biggest flaw with the film is the inclusion of May twerking. May twerking. Yeah, I think we can all agree that May twerking is just no. It felt very out of place with Pixar, and it was just really awkward. And I guess even though climax is kind of my favorite scene of the film, yeah, I don't like it when seeing May twerk at her mother as a big giant panda. Oh, actually, I think my favorite scene in the film would have to be that ritual when they where they were trying to get a panda out of Ming, and then they were like mixing "Nobody Like You" with the Chang Yi Shang Shang song. Yeah, and by the way, that wasn't being racist. I mean, I kind of know how that works. So yeah, so yeah, so overall, Turning Red isn't 100% perfect, but it may be one of the better Pixar movies from this decade so far. It has one of Pixar's deepest themes and messages, yet with a realistic portrayal of a teenager that teens will relate to, regardless of genders. It also has messages for adults too, specifically parents. So yeah, now comparing this to other Disney movies of the year, minus Marvel, I would say that this is probably like easily the best of the three animated movies, Disney animated movies of that year. It's better than Lightyear, and certainly better than shitty Strange World, which yeah, I now hate Strange World on reflection. But I would say that Disenchanted would be my favorite straight Disney movie of 2022. Yes, I still defend Disenchanted. Don't care what anyone else says. So yeah, I may be excited for Elio, but I highly doubt it'll top this one. So with that said, guys, I'm going to give Turning Red a 4.5 stars out of 5. Near a perfect movie. So also for my review of Turning Red, what are your thoughts on the film? Would you agree with me that this is a great film, but not one of Pixar's best? Do you think that this is among Pixar's best films? Or do you think that this is one of Pixar's worst films? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and oh, I got a question for you in the comments. Who agrees with me that sorry, what is your favorite of the Pixar animated films that use the Ghibli inspired style animation? For me, it's Turning Red. Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Elio. Bye, guys.